Her tiny hands trembled as she pushed the plate away, whispering through tears, "I can't eat this anymore." The restaurant grew quiet, people staring, some with pity, some with judgment. Just then, a man in a tailored suit, a millionaire everyone in the city recognized, walked in. He froze at the sight, his gaze locking on the fragile girl. None could imagine how this single moment would change her life forever and leave the entire room speechless. 8-year-old Lily sat at the corner table of a small restaurant with her stepfather, a man who cared more about his own appetite than the child's empty stomach. Before her sat a plate of stale bread and watery soup, the cheapest item on the menu. She had eaten the same thing for weeks, not because she wanted to, but because it was all her stepfather was willing to pay for. Her eyes filled with tears as she whispered, "I can't eat this anymore." Her voice was so soft that it cracked in the middle, yet it carried through the air like a broken violin string. Other customers paused, glancing at her frail frame, her oversized clothes, her hollow cheeks. Some looked away uncomfortably, others shook their heads but said nothing. Her stepfather's face twisted in irritation. "Stop crying and eat what's in front of you," he barked, slamming his fist on the table. The loud thud made Lily flinch. She lowered her gaze, pressing her lips tight to keep from sobbing aloud. At that exact moment, the glass door opened. A tall man in an immaculate suit stepped in. He was known by many, Ethan Carter, a self-made millionaire, respected for his business empire, but also admired for his rare humility. He had come to grab a quick coffee, but what he saw made his heart sink. Ethan stopped in his tracks, watching the little girl's trembling shoulders. Something inside him stirred, a memory, perhaps, of his own childhood when hunger was not a stranger. He quietly approached the counter, ordered his drink, but his eyes never left the girl. When the stepfather raised his voice again, mocking Lily for being ungrateful, Ethan could no longer stay silent. He walked over, his presence commanding yet gentle. The entire restaurant hushed. Kneeling beside the girl, he asked softly, "Why aren't you eating, sweetheart?" Through tears, Lily whispered, "Because it tastes the same every day, and I'm so hungry for something else." Her voice was fragile but honest. Ethan's chest tightened. He turned to the waiter and said calmly, "Bring her the best meal you have, steak, dessert, and fresh juice, and make it quick." The stepfather scowled. "Who do you think you are?" Ethan's eyes hardened. "A man who can't watch a child suffer while everyone else pretends not to see." The room filled with murmurs. Some clapped quietly, others simply watched, stunned by his courage to confront the cruelty they had ignored. The meal arrived, and for the first time in weeks, Lily's face lit up. Her hands shook as she picked up the fork, hesitant, almost afraid the food would be taken away. Ethan encouraged her with a nod, and she finally took a bite. The joy that spread across her face melted even the coldest hearts in the room. Her stepfather, embarrassed by the attention, muttered excuses. "She exaggerates. Kids these days don't appreciate what they have." But no one believed him anymore. The truth was written in Lily's tears and empty cheeks. Ethan leaned forward. "Do you go to school?" he asked gently. Lily shook her head. "Not anymore," he said. "It costs too much." The silence that followed was heavy. Ethan looked at the man with controlled anger. "Every child deserves love, dignity, and a chance at education, and if you won't provide it, someone else will." The stepfather laughed mockingly. "And who's going to do that? You." Ethan stood tall. "Yes, me." His voice was steady, but his conviction was unshakable. He took out his business card, handing it to Lily with a warm smile. "From today, you don't have to worry. I'll make sure you eat, study, and grow into everything you're meant to be." Gasps filled the restaurant. Some whispered that it was impossible, that it was just words, but the look in Ethan's eyes silenced all doubt. The stepfather, realizing he was outnumbered by truth and compassion, pushed his chair back and stormed out. The door slammed behind him, but no one cared. All eyes were on Lily, who sat stunned, tears rolling down her cheeks, not from hunger this time, but from hope. Ethan placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "You are not alone anymore." The audience, the whole restaurant, erupted in quiet applause. Some people even stood up, moved by what they had witnessed. What began as a moment of despair had turned into a symbol of kindness and courage. From that day forward, Lily's life took a new path. Ethan kept his promise, supporting her schooling, giving her a safe home, and showing her that the world wasn't only cruel, but also filled with people willing to stand up for what's right. And for everyone in that restaurant, it was a day they never forgot, a reminder that sometimes the smallest cry for help can awaken the greatest act of humanity. Kindness is not measured by wealth, but by the courage to act when others stay silent. Sometimes, all it takes is one heart willing to care, to change a child's destiny forever.